Welcome, everyone, to the newest episode of the Ballinesian podcast, episode 85, week 10, Sunday NFL recap. As always, this show sponsored by Levasa Island Apparel. Check them out, www.levasaislandapparel.com. Shout out to them, Central Valley PIA, for the community bash that they put on last Saturday on Veterans Day. So it was a pretty good turnout, and excited to hear more about it and for bigger and more things to come. Let's get the show on the road. I am Lance Falatongo.
And I am the happiest Raider fan ever. But I am annoyed because I have my my notifications on my fantasy draft on. So as I'm watching the game, I always get them like 5 seconds early. So as you were introing us, I was just about to get Aiden O'Connell just hit Michael Mayer, again, Notre Dame alumni, for a touchdown. Raiders are up. I mean, I didn't have it.
Let's go.
I had no doubts about it. I knew it was going to be up. You know what I mean? I just, so cool. It also helps, too, because I got Michael Mayer on one of my fantasy teams. And
I saw that.
So dope. Yeah, and
so hopefully, good things for you and the Raiders and your fantasy team. Hopefully, they pull out the win here on Sunday night. We'll definitely be tracking the end of the Sunday night football game. What quarter is it in right now as we're recording this?
Just into the fourth quarter, 14-10 in the fourth quarter right now. So Raiders go up 16-9. It's been a field goal fest most of the game.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say it's like a defensive game, but also New York has just been missing a lot of plays, like penalty wise, and just missed those. And it's not all Zach Wilson. Guys are gonna because it's their quarterback. He's not out there catching passes. He's not out there running routes or stopping, or covering deep wide receivers or trying to sack Aiden O'Connell. He can't do it all. He's actually playing a pretty good game. He's making better reads, getting the ball out of his hand. He's only had a fumble once, so no picks yet. So, it's a game of chances, and right now the Raiders are capitalizing on the chances they're getting, and the Jets couldn't capitalize on theirs. Some fourth down stops. But speaking of fourth down stops, let's get into your game.
Wow,
the Chargers. Oh man,
getting stuffed at the goal line. Oh man.
Well, see, that's not what I was leading to. I was leading to how many times, most games they like to track third down conversions, but I think for the Chargers and I'm sorry, who did they play? I was so fixated on the Chargers. The Lions. Two teams that kind of mirror each other. The Chargers up and coming, probably a coach away. Nothing against Brandon Staley, but I think they're a coach away from being like a serious playoff team, as was Detroit right before they got Dan Campbell, and then when they got him, you could see the changes just by the way they believe in Dan Campbell. Like the players really bought into him. So two teams that I think really mirror each other right now, just on two different sides of the mirror at the moment.
Yeah. I messaged the chat earlier about this, like two loser teams historically, teams that have found a way to snatch defeat out of the jaws of victory, even sometimes games where they're for sure about to win, like in the playoffs last year against the Jaguars, up 27 or 20-7, whatever it was. I try to forget. But then a historically bad defensive and offensive performance in the second quarter led to the Jaguars being able to come back and win that playoff game. For years, I felt like we've been on like some bad luck or bad beat type of outcomes. But yeah, 41-38 in Los Angeles. Riley Patterson of the Lions kicks a 41-yard field goal as time expires. You pointed out that there were a bunch of games with walk-off field goals. It's very exciting. There were 5 before we closed out got into the Sunday night football game. And we're going to get into those. But yeah, just shows how close and exciting weekend of football games it was. But yeah, the
Yeah,
Chargers put up 38 points, right? So I'm like, that's pretty good. The offense was humming. I think they had four straight drives with a touchdown for the first time in like 10 years or something, or 2 years. I don't know.
they look good. I won't lie. Like I believe Herbert's top five quarterback in the league, despite the wins loss records. I think he's a really great quarterback. He played his heart out today. They just they didn't get it done like they wanted to once they got with it, and not just in the 20. They were like goal line. A couple goal. They even had a couple goal line stances today. So it's not like they were the only ones that weren't getting it in the end zone. But when you get opportunities like that, and especially a team like the Chargers, who are needing to get wins, just I guess right now for like motivation, I guess for the rest of the season, winning games like this is important, and getting
Man,
getting opportunities like that, winning those opportunities are important. So that was tough to see. Yeah, just both sides though. Both sides had tough time scoring within like the five. So
the they had the Chargers had 98 rushing yards. The Lions had 200 rushing yards. David Montgomery and Jameer Gibbs both scored touchdowns. The rookie scored two touchdowns. David Montgomery had
that,
this 75-yard
right, that's
touchdown
what I was about to
run.
say.
That was
That
crazy.
numbers that number's kind of skewed because of that run. So yeah,
Yeah, definitely need the defense to stop giving up third downs. It says that the Lions were only 4 of 13, which is what 25, less than 25%
less than
on third
25
downs. But they were also 4 of 5 on fourth down, so
on
they
fourth down.
converted
So yeah,
four fourth downs.
right.
The Chargers 7 of 14 on third. So I mean, but definitely could have done a little better. Justin Herbert 27 of 40, 323 yards, four touchdowns, and a pick in the first. I think it was the first drive he threw an interception.
Mm,
Austin Eckler 19 carries, 67 yards, a touchdown. Keenan Allen 11 catches, 175 yards, two touchdowns. He was injured. He got injured in this game. Tried to come back late. Um, Actually came back and scored another touchdown on like
he
a
did.
corner route, and then curled it inside and beat the defender to the middle of the end zone. But
Man.
not enough, right? Because the Lions had the ball, and instead of kicking the field goals on 4th and 2 from like the 30-yard line, they decided to go for it, knowing that if they could pick up a fourth down conversion with like less than 2 minutes remaining, the Chargers would didn't have enough timeouts to stop the clock. They could just run it a couple more times, kick the field goal, which is exactly what happened. It's a bummer seeing that, and also kind of feeling dirty that I was like, "Oh, we're gonna let them convert this," and they immediately did, and I was like, "Yep, see, I knew, I know
That,
my team, I know my team. I'm a real fan, bro. I know what's gonna happen."
uh, that's tough. Don't worry, I'm on the same side of the football with you on stuff like that. Like there's certain things you watch your football team that you cheer for do, and you're like, oh crap, we're about to give this up, and then you're like, when it happens, you're like, yeah, no surprise. Which that sucks. That little sucks.
Yo, but it's
Uh,
yeah, definitely you're right. It still
yeah.
does hurt, but I don't know. What do you think? Do you think the Lions are now 7-2? They're among the top records in the NFL. Do you think
I
they're
I
just
think
playing
they're
well in the first half, or they're going to be able to sustain this into the playoffs?
no, I think they'll be able to sustain it to the playoffs. There's a lot of talk about these teams that are winning right now, namely Detroit and Miami, not beating like top tier teams in the league. But look, you play in a professional league. There's also guys who say, well, you put like Alabama or Georgia in the NFL, they can beat the bottom tier. No, stop it. Those are grown men. There's no way those kids. I don't care. But yeah, top tier teams. Okay, some of these teams do have top tier talent, but you go against guys, professionals every day. So no, I'd hate to take away from the wins that they have now, just saying they're playing like they're only winning against the bottom half of the league. Uh, Bottom half or not, those are still professional guys on the team. Those guys come out to play. So quality wins. I mean, yeah, you look at records and you're like, well, they didn't beat anybody with a winning record. Well, you still have time in the season when they get to the playoffs. That'll play through their head, and I think for a lot of guys, if you lose early in the season to one of those teams, you get better going into the playoffs, and I think that's on their side, and they'll be able to, like you asked, sustain through the season, and I think it'll be a big help to them once they get into the playoffs. So I like the Lions.
Yeah,
I'm in St. Rob is crazy. That
oh
man.
man, yeah. What do
So
you
yeah.
have? Over 150 yards, something like that?
Yeah, I say this because if I do end up winning in these three leagues, I'm gonna have to call Keenan Allen and Amon St. Raw, and I'm gonna send them $20 each because they don't really need the money, but you know, yeah.
Good look.
They oh my gosh, they killed for me today. If you guys play fantasy and you either had Keenan Allen or Amon St. Raw, as I have Keenan Allen in two leagues and Amon Raw in one of them with Keenan Allen, they literally pushed me over the edge today. Like the rest of the team I had couldn't play for crap today. So yeah, thank God for them.
Shout out to them. Way to go, guys. Way to pull
Yeah.
through for your fantasy manager, unlike other teams. Anyways, CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans headed to
Is he
Cincinnati.
real? I heard somebody today say that he is the best rookie quarterback of all time. That's a lot to say,
Okay,
but
okay.
also not too far fetched because
Right, right.
not too many rookie quarterbacks played. So, but man, he got
He
that win
looks he
today.
looks like a pro. Looks like he's been doing this for a while. Like he just finds the open guy, and I don't know like if his offensive line was supposed to suck, but he looks like he's just standing in there patiently waiting, not
Right, like he has
pressured,
time to
doesn't look like
throw.
his feet are moving around real quick, not like panicking, and he just steps into it, hits his receiver. They keep going down, they keep scoring. It's like he's been playing quarterback all his life, and he's tall enough to see out of the pocket. Good stuff for
Hey,
CJ Stroud.
don't throw digs at Bryce Young like that, man. Don't
I
throw
was
digs
just
at
saying
Bryce.
it might help to be able to see where you're throwing it
No,
a
I
little
get it.
more clear.
Uh, that that's probably the one person who's going to be hurt by all his success is Bryce Young, just because they're going to be compared to each other all the time.
Mhm.
Him being the first quarterback taken in the same draft as C.J. Stroud. So, but we'll talk about Bryce Young later. Yeah, C.J.
CJ
Stroud.
Stroud, 356 yards, touchdown, interception. I think he had that rushing touchdown before he did his squabble. Devin
Nice.
Singletary, used to be a Bills,
Buffalo Bill.
30 carries, 150
Oh wow.
yards, and a touchdown.
Ooh.
Leading receiver for the Texans today, Noah Brown, 7 catches, 172 yards. Do we need to go and get Noah Brown in fantasy? Does he need to be rostered, or was he just? I mean, Nico Collins was out today, so do you think it was just that? I know Brown has been doing good though.
I mean, hey, you get the opportunity, you play. That sounded stupid. What I meant was, if you get the opportunity, you got to go out there and play, and that's what
I
he
was
did.
nodding. I get it.
Yeah, it's
You
not
get
getting.
the opportunity. Hey,
I know
if
you get it. I know you get it, but there's a lot of people out here who know that I'm a dummy. So when I come on this show, sometimes I like to sound smart. So, but yeah, if you're given the opportunity, you have nothing left to do but to play, and he got that opportunity today. So great for him, man. That's what you got to do in a league that where you can be a superstar one day and then sitting at home on your couch waiting for a call the next. That's what you have to do is perform. So, yeah, maybe you do go get him in fantasy because it seems like he's ready to play in the league.
what
Nice game
about
for him.
what about Brian Robinson, the Washington
Oh,
Commanders running back? Uh,
I honestly didn't think that coming into the NFL, like he was good at a lot of running
Alabama.
backs at Alabama market.
Mm.
But
Oh,
he
true.
wasn't one of those guys. Yeah, like you didn't think he was going to come into the league and be like, I didn't think he was going to come into the league and
Mm.
be a lead back. But I thought a lot of his fanfare came from when he got shot. Not that he wasn't good enough to play, just like I thought he like really got popular once he got shot and came back to play.
Yeah,
But he's proven to be a really serviceable running back in the league. Like
I
that's
know.
pretty cool.
I know with his rookie preseason, like his rookie training camp, people were talking about him supplanting Antonio Gibson, J.D. McKissick, like the running backs in front of him,
Right.
and we're excited about him taking over as the lead back and also possibly contributing, um, like as a receiving back too. But I know it was mostly just like, oh, he's an Alabama stud and he's going to come in here, take over the workload, definitely get him in fantasy. And then he got shot and twice in the leg during an attempted carjacking
Yeah.
before the
Right.
season, and eventually made his way back a couple weeks in, or like a month or whatever. But
Right into the starting lineup, in fact, I think.
yeah, they tried to get him in there quick, but definitely now he's that guy, and definitely we see today, 8 carries, 38 yards on the ground, but 6 catches, 119 yards, and a touchdown through the air for Brian Robinson. Freaking
Yeah.
guy.
He's a
But it
big
wasn't
body
a.
too.
I mean, this is bearing the lead though because the Commanders did not win today. They were
No.
another team
A
that was the
victim.
victim of a
Another victim.
walk-off field goal. So the Texans, Matt Amendola kicked like I don't know, a game-winning field goal, and then also in this one in Seattle, the Commanders 26, Seattle Seahawks 29, with Jason Myers' game-winning field goal as time expired. Geno Smith, I think he had a bunch of big throws late. 31 of 47, 369 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kenneth Walker had a big touchdown reception.
Reception.
Also
Yep.
19 carries, 63 yards, and then DK Metcalf had 7 catches for 98 yards. And the
Yeah.
Seahawks right the ship. I think they lost last weekend, but now they're 6-3, and I think tied with the Niners
Side with the Niners. Yep.
for first in the NFC West.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the Cardinals also won today.
It was tough too because man, hey, Sam Howell was the better quarterback today, honestly. He really looks like one of those guys that like you just can't count him out. Like if he's got the ball in his hands, I liken it to watching Joe Montana when I was younger. Like if you were a San Francisco fan in the days of Joe Montana, all you thought if it was close enough, the game was close enough, all you wanted is to get the ball back so Joe Montana could have the ball in his hands and you're like, oh shit, nah, we're winning, So I hope Washington buys into Sam Howell like that. He was good at North Carolina. So yeah, just probably had a tough senior year. Wasn't as good as his earlier years in college coming into the league, but I like him, man. He looks nice. Even Michael was saying that he might just be he's a real one. He's a good quarterback.
Just
But
not taken high.
yeah, just not taking high.
Yeah.
Just and he got that again as we talk about opportunities when it was time for him to start. He showed up, man. He's just
Yeah.
so nice.
They let go of Taylor Heineke after
Who
Heineke
started
basically
for
started
Atlanta,
the whole year and
right?
was like showing them that he could do it. But then Sam Howell might have played like a little bit towards the end of last season, and they were just like, okay, we're going to go with this guy. And then Heineke ended up signing with the Falcons. But Sam Howell, 29 of 44,
Yeah,
312 yards, 3 passing touchdowns for the quarterback out of, you say, North Carolina?
North Carolina.
Yeah. All right. That's the Seahawks get another win. I think Zach Charbonnet fumbled or something. That's just
Sorry,
my
first a
my
little bit.
internet's
No, I can't hear you.
being unstable. My apologies. Yeah, Zach Charbonnet, I think, didn't get out of bounds on like the game-winning drive, and Geno Smith had
Are
to
you
get in
muted,
there.
Max?
Oh no, I think it's just sorry about
Okay.
that.
No, you're good.
Yeah, but Geno Smith and the Seahawks able to get a win. They're now 4-1 at home. What was the other? There was another. Was it the Bengals Browns game that also ended in a kick?
Was it? No, it was the last couple of games. I think the Bengals. I know.
33 31.
That was a comeback. Yeah, 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 yeah. That
Well,
was
I
a
mean, so it's
super.
this.
Yeah.
Dustin Hopkins kicks a game-winning field goal, 40-yard game-winning field goal as time expires. He also missed an extra point that would
Oh,
have had them tied 31-31, but they were actually losing after the Ravens scored another touchdown. and had to freaking then kick that field goal so as not to lose. You know, when you're tied and you got to kick a field goal, there's a lot less pressure.
Yeah,
But when you're down
yeah,
one or two and it's for the game, but also if you miss, it's for the loss and it's your fault. That's
yeah,
super,
yeah,
super pressure right
yeah.
there. But yeah, the Ravens apparently got an interception touchdown. Super. Oh, no, no, no. They gave up an interception touchdown. They gave up an interception touchdown by Greg Newsome, and that's when Dustin Hopkins missed the extra point to tie it. So they ended up needing that field goal to win. But yeah, another
Whew.
one as time expired. Would you say this Ravens loss is Lamar Jackson's fault, or is there a different player you would use as a scapegoat here?
Man, that's tough, man. And it's because he plays a quarterback position. Also because he plays it a little different than a lot of quarterbacks. Like he's gonna get the blame for it a lot. I mean, just being the quarterback alone, people are gonna look at him. But it's tough, man. I saw Gus Edwards didn't do too much on the ground. Um,
He's getting
again,
those easy touchdowns though.
oh, I mean, if you're at the one and you get the ball, you better score. That's
Yeah, true.
I yeah. I'd like to nothing not to take away from running backs, but I'd like to credit more the line for that. If you're scoring like at the one, I'd like to credit your line a lot more for that than anything. But yeah, I
Mm.
mean, again, if it's a quarterback, like touchdowns are given up, the definitely the interception for a score hurts. But like he's also not out there defending, so defense got to do the job. I know you want to see points scored and stuff like that. Lamar Jackson is definitely one of those electric players that you know you expect to have come out there, especially if you have him in fantasy. You want to see him come out there and just be super dynamic. But yeah, I don't know. I put it on the defense this time.
The fifth walk-off field goal game winner happened in Arizona. Frickin'
Oh,
Falcons versus Clayton Tune.
that
Tune?
was a good game, man. That was a good game. Shoot, it's so fun to see guys like uh Kyler Murray play, man. Like you think he's going down, and all of a sudden he takes like 3 steps one way, and then all of a sudden he's on the other side of the field. You're like, holy crap! But good to see him out there. That game was back and forth. I actually got to watch a little bit of that game. Thank you, Red Zone. Uh, man, yeah, it was fun
Bro.
to watch Red Zone today, just because they were going back and forth between all those field goal, walk-off field goal games.
Mhm.
So yeah, but
Kyler
man,
Murray, the quarterback, coming back after he tore his ACL. Is it ACL last year?
yeah, ACL, yeah.
Oh man.
Oh,
Okay, so
yeah.
I can look it up. Yeah, but coming back after a long injury that has sidelined him since last season and into the first half of this season. So it is good to see Kyler Murray back because we definitely need all the good quarterbacks we can have in this league, just because they're so important to keeping football
Definitely.
entertaining. Without good quarterbacks, there's not good
And
football, and we
watching
see
him
that
play,
with the Bears, the Jets, the all these teams that are starting rookie quarterbacks out of necessity, not out of the plan. Like it's not Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud or Anthony Richardson,
right, right.
for these guys that are like, oh snap, our starter went down and we got to start somebody. To have these rookies is usually they're not that good, and we see that a lot. But yeah, shout out to Kyler Murray who is back. Let's see his stats today. Not great. In 19 to 32, 249 yards through the air, no touchdowns and a pick, but he did have 6 carries for 33 yards and a touchdown, which
Yeah,
definitely helps out a lot when you're at, I don't know, what is that, 8, 11, 17 points? 17 points on his way back, 17 fantasy points. Trey McBride was the big target. Uh, Freaking 8 of 131 on 9 targets. Clayton Tune got to, what, kneel the ball, got to do a quarterback sneak, I think.
yeah. We
I
got to
think he
do a
got
quarterback
one
sneak out of him.
carry in there. They brought him in, they didn't want
Hey,
to.
it counted.
Uh,
He's the bigger quarterback. He's taller, so
True.
on downs like that yet. I
On
mean,
the other side, we had the Atlanta Falcons offense. Taylor Heineke, 8
hey,
of 15, touchdown. Desmond Ritter also got some play in this game, so I'm wondering if Heineke got hurt.
we got some. He did take a hit. We got some. We had a couple of Bijan sightings today too. Bijan
Bro,
Robinson,
did I see Bijan Robinson return a punt?
and that. Oh, hey, you know what? If he was on my team, I'm using him like everybody uses CMC. But yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing him back there every now and then return a punt. He's super dynamic. Like,
Uh, that's I mean, but you won't use him as a running back. Arthur Smith, he doesn't use him full time as a running back. He splits in a lot of Tyson
uh,
Algier. He uses a lot
that
of
guy's weird,
Jonnu
man.
Smith.
Art Smith is weird. I don't know. Even when he has to comment about it, like
Mm,
it's like a spoiled child who was given a football team and to run, and he's just like, I'm gonna run it the way I want to run it because my dad bought it for me. That's what it kind of feels like when he talks about anytime he's asked about like John Robinson. So I don't know.
uh, uh, I think his dad owns FedEx.
He sure does. It's another reason I'm talking shit.
It's like, oh, does he seem like a trust fund
Oh
baby?
man.
Because he
Oh my
is.
god. Because he is. I was putting it out there, but not really putting it out there.
Uh, well, yeah, Kyler Murray in his first game back, not the best statistically. However, the Cardinals do beat the Falcons. Bijan Robinson, what the hell is this? Man, as a Bijan Robinson holder in multiple leagues, I think I'm not signing back up next year because
Yeah,
I'm getting a different running back. 22
unless he gets a new
carries.
coach or a new team, then yeah.
I mean, I I don't know. They're now they're 4-6 after this loss, so hopefully that spurs some sort of change offensively. 22 carries, 95 yards, not bad, right? Led the team far and away. Tyler Algier only had 9 carries, and then he caught one pass for 11 yards. So not the greatest, but it was also wild to see him on special teams. Like that's not what everyone means when they say give Bijan more touches.
No,
Use
not
him
definitely.
more, get him on the field more. It's as a running back, as a receiving back, as a dynamic slot receiver, as what like someone who can move, do behind the back, freaking around. It's Bijan Robinson. It's Bijan. Use him. Unlike whatever, I don't know, Jonnu Smith over here throwing the ball to a backup tight end, and Kyle Pitts just standing over there like a decoy. Get out of here.
Yeah, weird.
Those are the 5 games that have ended on a kick. See what else do we have? What are the Raiders doing right now? How's it looking out there?
They lost the fumble earlier. They were
Oh
marching.
shit.
They were like on their. I think they were on their own, not their own. They were on the New York 20, maybe. They'd gotten down there, and Josh Jacobs holding the ball. So now their Jets are marching. I think they just got a first down off a third down conversion. They're at the. I didn't see it, but they're
Man,
also. I think they might be in the red zone right now. So
2 minute
tough.
warning around
Two
the
minute
red zone.
warning. It's 12-16 right now. So
It's four down
a field goal.
territory.
Yeah, field goal won't tie it. Touchdown will put them over. So
Gotta
yeah,
stop them. Gotta stop
yeah,
them. They're gonna
gotta
go
be a
for
big
it on
stop.
all fourth downs. They're not gonna
Oh,
attempt a field
definitely,
goal.
definitely.
So definitely, it comes down to this right here. Inside of 2 minutes, Sunday night football. The Jets need a touchdown. The Raiders are leading by 4. Can the Jets score? Hopefully not. Let's
Definitely not. Definitely not.
hopefully the Raiders can stand strong here for 4 straight plays. Go and get them. Let's knock out some of these other ones, or unless you want to just is this on right now? Do you want to
Oh no,
live?
no, 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 no. You're good. You're good. You can go to like the Frisco game. As they bounce back and pick up a win after their bye week.
Mm-hmm.
It was good to see their defensive coordinator come down to the field today, as he's been in the booth all season. We've heard so many people complain about it. People being the fans, and now that he's on the field,
Oh
I already
yeah,
saw. I already saw the poster. Oh, he belongs on you. That's where you should be. Okay, it's one game. Take it easy. They did play a really good defensive game today, though. I mean, it could be Wilkes on the field, or it could be that you guys got Chase Young at the other defensive end spot. I mean, you can take either one. So that defensive line is just, I mean, the only other defensive line that I know is that's probably just as good or better, maybe, is the Philadelphia defensive line. And just by the way they are stacked with players at the end spot, and they got a guy from Philadelphia playing their defensive tackle in Hargrave. Eric Armstead is coming on too. He's having a good season. So
Man,
yeah, that
Chase
Chase
Young with
Young,
half a sack in his debut
yeah,
game.
debut definitely makes a whole lot different if now you have to look at both sides um, from the line as a quarterback. Waiting for now you're not just waiting for Bosa to hit you from his side. Now you got to look out for Chase Young as well and Hargrave coming up the middle. So defense was great. We saw Debo. Debo got a touchdown today in his game back from injury. He got a run in for a touchdown. CMC was CMC today.
Man,
Didn't get a touchdown. Broke the streak. Crazy. That's
yeah.
crazy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's some bettors out there who lost money because he's been uh pretty, like, they have a stat where it's like if you had been betting on him for anytime touchdown from the beginning of the season, you'd be a
Oh, if
super
you
rich
kept
man.
rolling it
Yeah.
over,
If you just
yeah.
kept rolling it over, you'd have
Take the
something like four
winnings and
hundred
just
thousand
bet it.
dollars. Yeah.
Wow.
So I mean, that streak is broken today, but they had a good win today. They looked like the San Francisco 49ers defensively that we've been looking for the whole season. So if you're a San Francisco 49er fan, oh my gosh, Robert Spillane just picked the ball off. We're good.
Let's
Wow.
go.
Minute and
Cousin
14
Zach
left.
delivers the ball to the
Man.
Raiders.
I hate to see it because you've heard me on the show like multiple times. I'm most defending Zach Wilson. I feel for the kid, man, because I still think he doesn't get a fair shake. Like he came in his rookie year, and they threw him in to start. Was going to get the opportunity to sit behind Aaron Rodgers, which isn't Aaron Rodgers' fault. He gets hurt, and he's thrusted in again. Wasn't expected to play, but you see flashes like of what he can do. So that's tough. But again, also Zach Wilson, you dummy. Uh, Yo, if you're a Raiders fan, maybe even if you're not, you've heard a story about Robert Spillane this whole week where he broke a finger last
Ooh,
game,
ooh,
went
ooh.
out, taped it up, came back, played with it, had surgery right after the game, and came back and is playing today. So one of the tougher people that you can hear about. Also, Antonio Pierce has come out and said if he was to build a defense right now, if he gets to be the coach, he wants to build it around Spillane. And people were obviously like, why Spillane? Because of his attitude, how he comes to work every day, and he knows that if there's one person on that defense he can count on, it's going to be Robert Spillane. And he just proved Antonio Pierce right. Oh, he is fired up on the sideline. Let's go. If I didn't have a newborn baby in the house, shout out Paul and Gina and Millie again for bringing in Malosi to the world, Malosi Mason. I'd be jumping up just like Robert Spillane, but I'm sure wherever Matt Longfuena is right now, he's doing it for me. If you guys don't follow him, go follow him. He's funny, man, unintentionally funny, like he's just naturally funny, and he puts out really good stuff. Like, yeah, but um, man,
Where does the Raiders go on to win here versus the Jets? The Raiders
it
will
puts them
move
at five
to
and five, above five
five and
hundred
five.
or 500. They put us at 500.
So you guys are
So
going to be second behind the
second
Chiefs. The
in
Chiefs
the
are on
NFC
bye this
West,
week. Let's
right?
see. Aiden O'Connell, how do you feel? Was he good enough? Did he show you something today, or did he show you that something you might be worried about today? How do you feel?
No, he's good enough, man. The mistakes he makes are rookie mistakes. You know why? Because he's a rookie. Again, one of those guys that definitely didn't think he was going to come in and start the rest of the season. He was picked in like I want to say the fifth round, fourth round, something like that. Also, Antonio Pierce wasn't the head coach when you were picked. So for Antonio Pierce to pick you out of the three quarterbacks there with the other guys with tons more experience, like you know, that's crazy. So he's doing what he has to do. Like just now, another rookie mistake, play action call. He throws it directly into like throw it over him, my guy. He's trying to get the ball to one of his tight ends, but things like that you're gonna have to learn with experience. Like instead of throwing directly at somebody, throw it over. Put some touch on it. But yeah, that's football. To answer your question, plainly, he did what he had to do today. I'm not mad at it. Um, I don't mind to see if he is a quarterback next year. Right now, I don't know. There's still a few more games to play in the season. We'll see.
What about
Also,
what about that coach? Do you think he's the long term answer, or do you have somebody else you think the Raiders should go after, or is he showing you something with this win?
well, first off, there's a lot of guys that I would go after if I was like, uh, if you're asking me to go after another coach, there's tons of guys. Of course, um, you're gonna always start with one of the bigger names who was attached to the Raiders this offseason, Jim Harbaugh. But with what he's dealing with, I don't even know if he coming to the league right now. Just I don't know. That's big. Another guy is defensive coordinator for the Carolina Panthers. Sorry, I forgot his name. Jeez. That one's kind of selfish for me. I do like his system, but it's selfish because Frankie Lou, who has 1 year, well, this is his contract year, and I always think that if he leaves, Frankie would love to come play on the West Side. It'd be dope to have him play for the team I cheer for and the team that's closer here that I can go watch all the
Wow!
time.
Wow! Play for the
That'd be
Raiders,
great.
Frankie. Vegas is
If
closer. Come here.
hey, they'll pay you, bro. You know what I mean? It's not don't go to San Francisco because the taxes are horrible. I forgot whose check. I forgot whose check it was that they showed.
Was it
Like they
Armstead?
take, I think. Oh my
Like
gosh, it
half
was
of it.
Armstead. Half of his money. That's crazy. That's crazy.
He
But
only makes $400,000 a game.
that's crazy. And they take
That's a lot.
200,000.
one of
That's a
the
lot of money.
one of
What are
the
you taxing
football
for?
one of the football content creators for the Chargers did like a Veterans Day post, and he was like comparing the military pay to people in the NFL, and it was like
Wow.
freaking lower enlisted make 35,000 a year. Plus, there's other subsidies and allowances, but their base pay is like $35,000 a year, which is the same as like
Right.
an NFL cheerleader who works like practice like for maybe 6 months a year.
Out of the
Uh,
year? Yeah.
and then higher enlisted will be like master sergeant, sergeant first class up there, first sergeant. He said it was like 75,000 to 100,000, which is like the same amount ball boy makes. And it's a lot less than a practice squad player makes, which is like 200,000.
I mean, if you think about it, also there's the Denver Nuggets mascot. I think makes something like
Damn.
300,000. I gotta look it up again. But you know what I mean?
Well,
Of course.
you could say, it's like, oh, well, there's less of those. So, oh no, someone's smoking weed in public transit. Damn, the alerts we get.
Let him go.
Yeah, just
Uh,
keep rolling. Yeah, sorry. What were we saying?
no, you're good. No, yeah, I mean that's crazy though. Like those numbers are. I mean, that's the country you live in. If you're
That's
gonna
the country
complain
we
about
live in for now.
right.
What is the hell is
So
happening? I thought this game was over. Do the Jets have the ball back again?
they did. We kicked it. They decided to. 13 seconds left. They're midfield. So yeah,
Damn it. Okay, they
they had
had
to use a
timeouts.
timeout. They
Okay.
used their final timeout. So this could be unless they yeah This might be the last play.
You guys are gonna do it. Let's move on. The Colts and the Patriots play today in Frankfurt, Germany, in like another international series game. I think this might be the last one in
Of the
England.
season. Yeah,
I feel like there might have been like a Mexico City game that was announced. I'm not sure if
I
there's
know
another one, but I think
The
this
Raiders
was
usually play at least once in Mexico because they're like that's like their sister team. Like you, I mean,
nice.
you know,
Yeah, I think there might be one in Mexico City, but we'll see. This was the lowest scoring international game ever. That's how we represent. Colts 10, Patriots 6. Mac Jones, not that guy, replaced on the final possession by Bailey Zappi because he threw another. He underthrew a wide open tight end in the end zone for the win. So instead of giving him another man, and he just looked bad like the whole game, bro. He was third down. I don't know how many third down sacks he took, but he had like 4 or 5 in the
I know he
game.
was getting chewed out.
Oh my gosh, that clip of was it Bill
Yeah,
O'Brien?
yep,
Yo,
just
like
yeah.
mad at him.
It's
Like
tough because it's the job and like that's what
I
happens at
don't think
jobs
you
sometimes.
should be
But also,
yelling
like,
at people like that.
I mean, yeah, I mean that sucks, but that's gonna happen. I mean, if you're working for somebody, which like
Yeah,
being a grown ass man, I'm pretty sure that it has to fuck with
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Damn
for
you,
sure.
did your report. I'm trying to watch this game and be excited, but like surprised. But yeah, we won. We pulled out the win. 16-12. Let's go, baby.
Let's go, Raider Nation.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, by the way,
Antonio
if you're
Pierce,
listening
2
to
0, man.
this, and you're a Raider fan, we're gonna start the Raider wins post every time the Raider wins. Every time the Raiders win. So just tag a Raider fan in the comments of that post, and we'll add them to the Raider win post the next time the Raiders win.
Uh,
Also, if you're
yeah,
a Raider fan, let us know if you think Antonio Pierce is the perfect fit, or what other
right.
coach you
I
would be
was
going
I
for.
was just about to fade back into that before we finish with the. I do believe that Antonio Pierce is the coach for the Raiders right now,
Ooh,
especially if you're about to rebuild this team and shape it into um, as Antonio Pierce likes to say, the Raider way.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think he's
I'd
the
say
perfect person.
you're a coach. Also, what do you think the future coach, whether that's Antonio Pierce, Jim Harbaugh, somebody else, what do you think the future coach for the Raiders needs that is specifically going to help the Raiders? Like that might not work at other places, but it will for Raider Nation and for the Raider team. What do you think that coach like exemplifies?
Exactly what Antonio Pierce is doing right now. A guy
Ooh,
that's
oh,
there for
okay.
his players. A guy that's going to stand up for his players. That's going to fight. If you get what like we were just talking about Mac Jones getting chewed out. Like as a
Mm-hmm.
player too, when I was playing like high school ball, anywhere I played, uh, when you get chewed out by one of your coaches, it's fine if you believe in everything he's telling you. If you believe in what he's coaching, or there's coaches that you want to go to war for, like that you'll run through a wall for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Or like because it's football, there's coaches that you're gonna run into the other team for. If it's just you and it's you against the whole other team, there's guys that you want to do that for. Antonio Pierce is one of those guys, and that's what they need. They need someone for the whole team to believe in that he's doing things for the betterment of not just a certain group on the team or himself, but for the whole team. And when you listen to Antonio Pierce talk, you believe that, even if you're not a Raiders fan. I mean, you got to. There's Go ahead, go listen to like even his first presser when he's talking about how he's a Compton guy.
Mm-hmm,
He
mm-hmm.
grew up wearing Raiders stuff, NWA. You know, you believe him. And like head coaches these days, a lot of them are former players, and that's a big plus for him because when you listen to him talk, you know what he's talking about because he's been on the field. But also he's got some guys there now that like his coaches. He doesn't have to be a great X's and O's guy. He's got to be a really good CEO and run the team and make sure that everybody, like at your workplace, Lance, when you're working,
Mm-hmm.
what makes a great workplace and what if you see a lot of businesses and big businesses thrive, is because their CEO is well equipped to handle everybody, you know. And then he has like his managers, of course, and his supervisors, and those are his coordinators and his assistant coaches, and they all got to buy into the system. That's what it is. I'd love for. I think that's what they need. They need the team to believe in their new coach because they've had a string of coaches where there's been scandal, starting with Chucky. That's a big scandal. I mean, of course, too. When you read some of the emails, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if it's all true, but if there's racist remarks in there, are you still trying to play for him? You know what I mean? I don't know
Yeah,
what was in the emails. I don't, but like that's the comments coming out of it. And then you get a guy like you
I
hear a
think
lot
it
of stories
was.
now coming out
I think
about
it was locker
McDaniels.
room talk.
There, I'm pretty sure, like, which even sucks more, man, because it's locker room talk, and I mean, you trying to change the I guess the atmosphere in the room, but things like that, like I don't know. I do think Antonio Pierce is the guy though. I really do.
Yeah. I mean, I hope it works out for you guys. We'll see. We'll
For sure.
continue to keep track. Um, yeah, but it's good to see the Raiders winning. I know it makes you happy, and that
Oh man,
makes the rest
great
of us
win,
happy.
great win. Yeah. Also to everybody watching, man, like this stuff. I mean, I do get down when the Raiders lose sometimes, but also, I mean, it's not the end of my life. But, like I'm gonna be a Raiders fan regardless. Like I know it's been a few, like not a few, but a lot of tough years for Raiders fans, you know. But that's one. I mean, you know, there's just a lot of people I see right now that are flip flopping, talking about
Oh,
God, not just Raiders fans, like all kind of fans out here. And then when your team start winning, all of a sudden you're a fan again. It's sports. You could do that. You know, you can hop teams too, but we're not gonna respect you for it.
yeah. You don't get as much of a high five when your team wins if you just jumped off and jumped back on the bandwagon.
Right.
Um,
So good win. Good win.
The
I think
Giants' life is over. They're at least their
the biggest
playoff
question,
life.
I think now for the Jets is um what they're gonna do here on with Zach Wilson. Because their defense and Robert Saleh is a defensive coach. Um, him and man, shout out to Jeff Ulbrich. He is a I watched him play in college from when University of Hawaii was like they were just coming up, they were just getting good. He was the middle linebacker. If you ever play defense or like you love middle linebackers, Jeff Ulbrich
He was
was
that
that
guy.
like he's the prototype middle linebacker. Like you look at him, like guys like Zach Thomas, uh, you know, those two just I mean, they just say you look at them and you're like, man, that's probably their middle linebacker. You know,
You can
and to
tell.
see it, yeah, to see a guy come from the University of Hawaii where I was at the same time, that's fun to see. He's
Not
doing really good.
okay.
Yeah,
Nice. He was
him
okay.
and
You
Robert.
saw him when you guys were there at the same time.
Oh man, he was so good at UH. Like, and then, um, like a lot of us were happy when he first got into the NFL. I don't know. I think he went undrafted, but he ended up his rookie year with Frisco. Played a couple years. It wasn't too bad. Started a few games. So yeah, those two, I think their job shouldn't be in danger because their defense is top tier. They have a really great defense. Um, I think their biggest question now is what to do with Zach Wilson because I mean, according to Aaron Rodgers, he might be back in December if you believe
Jesus.
his talk. Uh, but Zach Wilson also, I think he's better than some of the quarterbacks in the league. Quite
Uh,
honestly,
I mean, he's
what
not.
man, watching him run today too, like he's added that. He's pretty quick. He's good with his feet. Uh, I I mean, this is just my personal opinion. You guys can come for me on it or not, but I think he's better than I'd start him over Tyler Heineke. Of course, I'd start him over Clayton Tune, who's out there in Arizona.
Yeah, but
Uh,
those are not. This is the second overall pick. It should be like, oh man, I might think about starting him over Patrick Mahomes. Like I might
but
start him over Lamar
that,
Jackson. That's
that's
not.
not his fault. That's not his fault that some GM. went to a workout and saw him throw a 75-yard bomb off of
Yeah.
with no defenders. You know, I mean, no, yeah. So like, I still think he could be a starting quarterback somewhere in the league. I would start him over some of these quarterbacks in the league right
I mean, yeah. Another team that's starting rookie quarterback teams that are starting rookie quarterbacks in the Thursday night football game. The Panthers traveled to Chicago, where Bryce Young faced Tyler Bagnett. Um, the Bears pulled this one out 16-13. I think the Panthers had a chance to kick a field goal late, but missed it, and the Bears held on. Not a super exciting game. I know the
now. No, man.
Thursday night football, the primetime slots were getting like people were talking shit about them, like not very exciting. But football always ends up like an exciting game, whether it is an exciting game on the field or the storylines and the announcers kind of pull you into it emotionally, or you have money on the game. There's always something that'll get the games even more hyped up. But I mean, I actually didn't even get to watch this. I usually watch all the Thursday night football games, but Thursday I'm in the office now, and it was super busy, so I had to get the updates through Yahoo notifications, and that's where I remembered that I started DJ Moore in a league, and I was like, oh no, wait, no. But let's see. Let me pull up the stats from that one. Bryce Young, 185 yards. It's Tyson Bagnett, not Tyler. I don't know if I said Tyler earlier. 20 or
No, you said
33.
Tyson.
Okay,
You said Tyson.
162 yards, no touchdowns from either of the quarterbacks. Always fun. No rushing touchdowns for the Panthers. Dante Foreman, 21 of 80 for a touchdown for the Bears. And then DJ Moore, 9 targets, 5 catches, 58 yards. Mike Strachan was the leading
I,
receiver for the Panthers. 1 catch for 45 yards. He's like, I don't know who that is. The Panthers are now 1-8. They also have the Bears' first round pick. No, the
they
Bears
do.
have
No,
the
no, the Bears
Bears.
have theirs.
The Bears
Yeah,
have
the
the
Bears
Panthers'
have
first
theirs.
round pick.
Yeah,
So it was very important for the Bears to beat the Panthers
right.
because it makes
So
it a
that
better pick.
it makes it a better pick.
So that's
That's
they were
crazy.
playing
Yeah,
for.
yeah.
That's funny, but
It's
yeah.
tough. I mean, people are
Otherwise,
always they're gonna point directly at Bryce Young because obviously he's the number one pick.
mm,
But I think the bigger problem and the bigger question for them, people are gonna ask, is how they spent all that money on Miles Sanders when they already had Chuba Hubbard, who's already starting now, instead of using the money somewhere else that could maybe have helped them better, especially on offense right now. Their defense is pretty stout. Um, they have weapons on the defense starting from the inside with Derek Brown. They have Brian Burns on the edge, Frankie Louvu in that right there at the linebacking core with Shaq Thompson, who got hurt. That's tough. They got the Hawaiian boy. What's his name? Kruger Hill. I think that's his last name.
yeah.
He's coming pretty good. Again, they've been hurting the secondary with JC Horn going down. So, but they've been able to play really good defense despite that. But their running game is just like when they were early on. Miles Sanders literally is not worth the money that they're paying. Um, Again, no disrespect to Miles Sanders, but he's been paid a lot of
Not
money to
worth
come in.
the paper his contract
No,
is printed on.
not at
He's
all.
definitely not doing that good. He didn't do that great with like one of the best offensive lines um in Philadelphia, and now
Right,
so not very exciting. Um
right.
but yeah, that was the Thursday night football game. Speaking of really good defense, uh and probably be playing Tommy DeVito helped a lot, but the Cowboys went off today.
89
Happy
points.
belated
That's
birthday.
sheesh.
Happy belated birthday to our Cowboys fan, brother Will
Hey,
McCoy.
shout out to Will.
49 points on the Giants today, 49-17. The Giants didn't score until the second half. This game went to halftime 28-0, and it felt like the Cowboys were just dominating the highlights. Dak Prescott, 404 yards, 4 touchdowns, and a pick. Brandon Cooks,
Yep.
catches, 173 yards, and a touchdown. They also had one of their backup running backs. I don't know how to pronounce it. Rico Dwaddle, who had 79 yards on 12 carries. Tony Pollard, also 55 yards. CD Lamb still ate though. You know what I'm saying? 14 targets, 11
Hey man.
catches, 151 yards, and a touchdown. Jeez Louise, they were laying it on these fools. Oh my God. And they scored, what was
Like
it, 30-0 the first time?
I when I watch stuff like that, I'm one of those guys that like, hey, it's a defensive job to stop it. If you can't stop nobody, then of course you're gonna get scored on. But did you really need to do that? Like it's
You need to score all those
come
touchdowns.
on, it's the Giants, man.
They're
And
going
the
against
again,
Tommy DeVito, a rookie quarterback. Is that now it's the record for most rookie quarterbacks that have started a game in a season with 10. Tommy DeVito is number 10, 14 of 27, so just barely over 50% of his passes for 86 yards total, 2 touchdowns and a pick. It's a QBR of 18. Saquon Barkley not able to find a bunch of room, 66 yards. Yeah, so not a lot of stats there for the Giants. Yeah, the Giants fall down to 2-8. The Dallas Cowboys now 6-3. I think the Eagles are 8-1.
yeah,
So I mean, the Cowboys are definitely going for an NFC wild card spot, but you need to pick up all the wins you can in what I think is going to be a pretty crowded wild card field this year. I mean, definitely for the AFC. The
it
NFC is
will.
usually a little less, but
Again, man, like that's a lot of points. The Cowboys look really good today, but it's against the Giants, and they're not just bad on like offense; they're bad on defense right now.
yeah.
They traded away one of their better players, and well, actually no, Leonard Williams wasn't even on the Giants anymore. See, they're just
Was he
really
with
bad.
the? He's with the Seahawks now, yeah.
Yeah, he's with the Seahawks now. So yeah, they're man, that's tough to watch, especially when that Saquon re-signed with them, where he could have just kind of went somewhere else, and even with less money. But yeah, so
See, yeah, the Cowboys are going to be moving on. 49 points. That's pretty good. Yeah, talked about Falcons Cardinals. We talked about Browns Ravens, 49ers Jaguars. These 2 games, or 3 games here, I think we have the last 3 before we do the Monday Night Football. Saints at Vikings. Derek Carr got injured. Jameis Winston had to come in and lose the game again. Saints 19, Vikings 27. Josh Dobbs couldn't find the dressing room before the game. Had to be literally pointed to by one of the elevator attendant where the Vikings locker room was. But Josh Dobbs does it again. 268 yards, touchdown. Even had a rushing touchdown. Targeted TJ Hawkinson a lot. 11 catches, 134 yards, and a touchdown. And yeah, they actually, this one was a bigger score gap than the final score might indicate, 19-27, because the Saints scored 16 points in the second half and still lost by 8. Yeah, but that Derek Carr, I think he had a shoulder injury and a concussion check, so hopefully he's okay.
hey,
And
I mean, if we get to see Jameis Winston, I'm all for it.
I do not want to see Jameis Winston playing football like that. I mean, I know Alvin Kamara also doesn't want to, because Jameis
No,
Winston does
definitely
not
not.
throw to running backs. He throws to sidelines and deep down the middle. He's all about
Yeah, you got to
tasting
run. You
that
got to
W.
run. Yeah, you got to run a 20-yard or more route for Jameis Winston to notice you. So
I think he got Shaheed Rashid hurt though. Hopefully he comes back. I saw he was getting helped off the field.
that's tough.
Another game. This one at Heinz Field, or whatever the stadium is called, in Pittsburgh. The Packers visiting the Steelers, and the Steelers hold on to win 23-19. Kenny Pickett,
Hey,
who gets a pass because Zach Wilson is a thing, I think. Kenny Pickett would probably get more heat, I think, if Zach Wilson wasn't around.
he
But
should get more heat either way. That guy
the
is crappy.
the winning quarterback, a KP, 14-23, 126 yards, no touchdowns, no picks though. 16 yards on the ground. Jalen Warren,
shout out to those getting into the end zone today.
15 carries, 101 yards, and a touchdown, compared to the starting running back for the Steelers, 16 carries, only 82 yards and a touchdown. George Pickens, I know he was complaining. We were just talking about in the midweek episode how he needs to get right. 3 catches, 45 yards. Yeah. And I guess the Packers just not able to come back at the end. They went into the fourth quarter down 19-20 with the Steelers winning, and then the Steelers ended up kicking like another field goal, but the Packers didn't score at all in the fourth quarter. Jordan Love, 21 of 40, 289 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks for the Packers.
I mean, you want to say that he needs help, but he's got some good receivers around him. I know he's missing his starting left tackle, who's probably one of the better left tackles in the league in Bakhtiari, but he's also been hurt. He also refuses to play on turf. So, tough. But I still think Zach Wilson, sorry. Jordan Love might still be a good quarterback in the league. He shows that he can find receivers in the end zone, but he also shows that he can find the opposing team's quarterbacks. So, because I think he might have an interception in like every game. That's pretty tough. But Peyton Manning did throw a lot of interceptions. I mean, granted, it was his rookie year, but yeah.
Well, I mean, is this kind of like Jordan Love's rookie year? Well, it's actually first time getting to play
I
out on the
guess so.
field after what,
I
3-4
think
years, waiting for
Watching
Aaron Rodgers to move on.
Right. So I mean, yeah. So
the Steelers move up to 6-3. Yeah. That's pretty surprising. 6-3 for the Steelers.
Yeah, especially if you hear it from like the Steelers fans early. Well, they were really like down on their team early in the season. So
that defense, man, that defense it helps out a lot to have a defense that freaking takes the ball away, limits points.
Hey, like I say, when I'm coaching basketball, if we score 2 points and the other team scores no points, we still win by 2 points. So defense is important.
So the final game before the Monday Night Football prediction: Titans at Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield and the Bucks win 20-6 versus Will Levis, Derrick Henry, and those guys. Baker Mayfield, 278 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Rachaad White, 20 carries and 51 yards. And Mike Evans, 6 catches, 143 yards, and a touchdown for the now 4-5 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Titans are 0-5 on the road. Probably because they're not great even with their regular quarterback, but now they have the rookie quarterback. What do you think about Will Levis?
He hasn't had enough time. Yeah, of course. So anytime someone's going to come in and they've played like limited games, you know, especially if they're just thrown into the position, like I think they were waiting for an excuse to start him over Tannehill. I think they were waiting for an excuse to start Malik Willis over Tannehill at this point.
Damn.
So I think just give him. He hasn't even had a whole season to play. This is what, his second game, third game?
Second or third.
Second
or third full game.
So I mean, we'll give him as much grace that we give, like, you know, guys who are starting from the beginning of the season, at least when he gets a full season in. So and once they get like free agency is done, you know, when you get some guys in there to help them, or you start shaping a team. So people also have to understand there's some people who don't as a quarterback, you're gonna have to start shaping the team around what he can do. You know, a lot of these teams that are winning, it's what they do. They build around your quarterback or whoever is the focal point of your team. So there's gonna have to be certain pieces that you go out and get, certain people that you let go of or trade away because they don't fit what your quarterback skills are. So, I mean, once you get the full season in or a full off season in as a starting quarterback, then I guess we can start judging him from there.
See the Monday night preview for Week 10. We have the Denver Broncos traveling to Western New York to face the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are a 7-point favorite in this game.
That's disrespectful.
And the over/under is 47.5. So it's like if it was the same, it'd be 24-24. But this is gonna be what? Like 20-27 is kind of the implied final score. Uh, Josh
Yeah,
Allen,
you know
James
what?
Cook, Stephon Diggs going up against who? Russell Wilson, Javonte
That's
Williams, Jerry Judy, Cortland Sutton. Which one's their wide
Jerry
receiver
Judy.
one? Cortland Sutton?
I think at the moment it's still something.
Yeah.
That's saying a lot for Denver that they're just 7 point underdog to Buffalo, who's probably the favorite to win the AFC. Besides, you know what? They might be the favorite over the Chiefs. I don't know.
Nice. Oh, the
So
Bills?
that's yeah. That's
The
yeah.
Bills are
That's
nah, I don't think so. I think that everyone's laughing at the Bills right now because of the games they have lost recently, but also their record is 5-4. They're like if they lose this game, they're 500, and they're going to be
hmm.
trailing the Dolphins. They're going to be trailing definitely the NFC powerhouse and the Eagles, the Chiefs.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll be cheering for Denver's defense because I'm in another league, and if I have if I have what's his name? Josh Allen go off, then I definitely lose that game. So let's go Denver's defense.
Let's go defense. Let's ride.
But I mean,
Uh,
hey, they look pretty good these last I think 2 games. Denver.
do you think Denver has a chance to win this game
I do.
on the
I do.
road?
I do. I
What is
think
that? What
maybe
does
they're
that look
starting.
like? Like, what is the game script? Russell Wilson shows up big. The running game is the focus. The defense.
They've got
Defense shuts down
uh,
Josh Allen for your fantasy team.
yeah. I I think
I believe
I
because I need it to happen.
oh man, I am manifesting it right now. I uh I think Russell Wilson pulls them out from the win. I think he's got a little bit more heroics in him this season. So
We'll see it. Monday Night Magic is what I call it. Like it's the last game where people
I
need
don't
crazy things to happen for their fantasy teams.
look
And
if it's not Fitzpatrick, then then I don't use Magic anymore. When I'm if Fitzpatrick is not the quarterback,
Fitz
we're not
Magic.
using Magic anymore.
Jeez. What do you think the score is?
You know what? I'll go with what like you were talking about. I think it's gonna be a little bit of a shootout. I'd say like 2027. I like that.
2027?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. I think the Bills are going to win by more than a touchdown. I'd say Bills by at least 9. So I definitely I take the Bills with the points here. I just don't like the Broncos offense or culture right now. Sean Payton, Russell Wilson don't feel like they're the best team, but I feel like they're two different sides of the spectrum. And also Russell Wilson joined with the Nate Hackett ownership, and now it's like I think
Mm.
they got sold and they brought in Sean Payton, and now it's oh no, that new ownership brought in um, the King Nathaniel Hackett out and brought in Sean Payton. But I don't think Sean Payton really rocks with Russell Wilson. Honestly, he's like he wants to be Bill O'Brien yelling at Mac Jones a lot, but he's just too cool for that. So I mean, they'll probably get another quarterback next year, make some moves, pay what they have to, trade what they have to. I think the Bills are gonna uh, have fun with this game tomorrow, or you're listening to this today, Monday, 5:15 Pacific time on ABC and ESPN. Yeah, that is our Sunday NFL recap for Week 10. Teams on bye were the Kansas City Chiefs, Los Angeles Rams, Miami Dolphins, and Philadelphia Eagles. And yeah, that's our episode. Shoutouts? You got any shoutouts you want to shoot off this week?
Oh yeah, man. Shout out to my mom. She just lost her older sister last night.
Oh no,
So yeah, I
sorry.
mean, no, no, you're good. She had been, I think she was already on dialysis for more than 5 years. Um, she's she was older. But selfishly, of course, we feel bad because we miss her and we won't have her here physically. But like, it's so funny because she if I had to say anything about anybody who had a hand in raising me, she was probably the biggest hand in raising
Mm-hmm.
me besides my parents. It's my Auntie Anna Fatuasi Bird. Shout out to her kids too. I know she's been the rock for their family for a long time, so it's tough. But if you've ever had that uncle where like uh, man, you know that one uncle that you just go through to for everything. Like if even if she had just like a dollar, like it's funny. So my aunt, like when I was younger, anything I wanted, it didn't matter. Like if she had like $2 in her pocket and I needed to go somewhere and we needed some gas money, but I needed $1.50, she put the 50 cents in her car, give me the $1.50, and drop me off. But she was like that. She was crazy. Like back in the day, and I think I might be the only one that calls her this now because everybody was like, but they called her a psycho because she was super wild back in the day. But yeah, oh man, just I mean, uh, and when I'm telling these stories and they're told, she laughed too. Uh, these are stories totally of just love and endearment. Like my aunt, she's one of those people that when I was little, I tell people this story about Samoan women and how you're taught when you get home late at night. Like, and she used to
Mm-hmm.
go to bingo late at night. When you get home late at night, well, what you're supposed to do is sit on your porch, declothe, take all your clothes off, and kind of just sit in front of your house and like an ear, uh, so that way whatever follows you home at night
Got it.
is outside of your house, and they think that that's where you're gonna sleep at, and they stay out there instead of going. But my aunt was like, she was super like, man, she was like that aunt, like the Samoan aunt, like, man, it's too funny. She could play softball like a motherfucker, but like my one picture of her every time is me coming to the house and she's sitting in front of the house, just sulu au au, which is like in I guess in English it would be a sarong for people out here in the States. And
Mm.
she just have it under her underarm, no shirt, no bra, nothing, just sitting in front of the house. Like that's how like gangster she was, old school. And what I mean, just sitting in front of me, like, yeah, where your shirt at? She goes, it's just us. You know what I mean? Like in the back of the house, sitting on her porch and stuff like that. Uh, Best scrambled eggs ever. Um,
Nice.
Sometimes when I needed to skip school, I'd call her to see where she was so I could catch a ride skipping school. Oh man. To say the least, she was my favorite aunt, and I'm glad that she's not in pain anymore because, yeah, dialysis was tough on her.
Mm.
Dialysis, for anybody who has a family member going through dialysis, shout out to you guys because that's tough on your family member, but also on you to watch them go through that and then having to take them to appointments and stuff like that. So, yeah, man, shout out to my mom and her remaining siblings um, out of 16 biological siblings and I want to say 18 altogether from adopted. Uh, there's just three of them left, four of them left, four sisters left out of all of that. So, yeah, man, you know, if you got loved ones out there that you haven't talked to in a while, like this is, I talk to my aunt all the time. If you do, call them up, man. You know what I mean? Just even a hi. If you have an aunt somewhere, an uncle, your parents, anything like that close to you, you haven't talked to in a while, call them up, say hi. I know they'd appreciate it, especially if you're one of those Uluwali kids that they took around all the time. So, yeah,
Hello,
yes, sir.
it's me.
Yeah,
Nice.
exactly.
I know who you're talking about. It is I.
Appreciate
Yo, yeah. Shout out to your mom. Shout out to your auntie. Rest in peace.
it.
Yeah, definitely glad that not in pain anymore and that you can
Hey,
focus
man.
on those great memories and good
Hey, man.
times when you just got to skip school.
Oh man, I'm
Pick me
telling
up.
you, man. So she had this trooper. Uh, who made trooper back in the day? A Honda? No, I forget. But it was the most beat up car you ever had. But when I was like 8 or 9, it was the only car I ever wanted to ride in. Like it was the coolest car for me to ever ride.
No,
So yeah,
Isuzu.
man. Yeah, there you go. So shout out to her.
Yeah, shout out to the fam. Shout out to your fam. Shout out to everyone's fam. Get out there and
Yo, we appreciate it,
say
man.
hey.
Yep.
Uh, Shout out to definitely to our sponsor, Levasta Island Apparel, and the
Oh, yup.
community bash that they had with Central Valley Pacific Islander Alliances. Shout out to Louis Lango. Shout out to Brother Boat, who I'm sure was there. Anybody
Yup.
in the Modesto community that were down at Via Dolorosa Church last Saturday on Veterans Day. I know Eli really appreciate the turnout and seeing everybody get together and be able to not just have a good time, but also to give out some community resources and really trying to help people
Just
improve.
connect people.
Yeah,
Yep.
and help them help each other improve their lives together. Like everyone's got a little something that they might be able to cover somebody else on, whether it be advice, leadership, mentorship, like just having the community together, or someone to watch your kids. I don't know, food. Freaking, they got the food drive every week. Super pumped up for what's happening down there in the valley with Brother Eri,
Oh yeah.
Levasa, CVPIA. Yeah, definitely keep it up. Inspiring and definitely a need where people can come together and feel part of that community. So shout out to them.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to everybody else. Shout out to you if you're doing something. If you're trying to make something work, shout out to you. You know, um, definitely. We've been putting in more time on different shows, more content, trying to get more clips for the Ballinesian podcast up. Because I know, Bill, we be talking, like, we talk so much that eventually there's, like, good stuff that comes out. You know what I'm saying? There's some
Yeah, I mean,
gems.
I think they call that the process of elimination.
It's like, eventually we have, like, some really good nuggets that I take and I think about. Um, and I feel like that happens in every episode. There's multiple points where we're talking about sports or something, but it'll reflect or also have something to do with life. So definitely want to pull more of those out of our episodes and post them. Also check out the Politicking Network, Politicking Podcast, Patreon. Shout out to Brother Seth and Marcus. We also got the Way Back Wednesday podcast where we talk about nostalgic topics, Xbox and PlayStation, Pokemon. We talked about daytime TV in our last episode.
Yo,
Crazy.
I heard about so like Seth was talking about that's daytime for him, right? But I grew up when I was growing up in Samoa, we used to wait up with my grandma to watch daytime. It was daytime
Oh
TV,
yeah.
but in Samoa, Days of Our Lives came on. It was the last thing that would come on TV, and then
Wow.
no more TV on Channel 4. And when he was talking about it too, like it's so funny because as a kid, like you'd watch it, you weren't really like into it, and then all of a sudden you got into it. So like all the characters named like Stefano,
Yo,
like
did you remember Stefano?
yeah, bro, he was like the most like he was the mastermind of all the evil that was going on in Days of Our Lives.
Got
He
it.
was this rich dude. I think he was supposed to be like XCI. It was so elaborate. Like the plot was so elaborate. Like uh even Bo had an eye patch, and it's funny how he was describing them, and like I'm pretty sure some of those characters like they probably switched them out with younger people because
Oh, okay.
uh because I'm a little older than Steph, and when he was talking about Stefan, I was like, man, that's so funny that they were on the show at that time. Bo and Hope, of course, were probably like the main, like you said, the main couple of the show.
Nice.
Uh, so funny and Passion was
It
the other
was
one,
crazy hearing them talk about it. He's like, this guy,
bro.
that girl.
That was so funny. It was so funny because it took me down watching soaps with my grandma at night, like 12 o'clock it would come on.
Wow.
And then when I got to college, I used to get in trouble because in the library they have a media pit. So like it's like a pit, it sinks in, and they had like this gigantic TV at Kapiolani Community College. And me and some of the other girls that would go, they were like, "Oh man, I wonder if Days is on." I would go change the channel, bro. There would be a crowd in there watching Days of Our Lives, like mid class.
Wow.
So funny, man. But yeah,
Dang, I didn't
shout
know
out,
Days was like that. I didn't know it
bro.
was nice.
Days is that's one of the OG like yeah, it's up there with like OG with like General Hospital,
Mhm.
All My Children, guiding light, and now as I'm saying all of these soap operas, I'm either showing my age and I'm also showing what kind of dork I am. But I know if you were in
I'm
Samoa,
clipping
bro,
this.
bro, oh my God, please stop. There was another one in Samoa. I think he mentioned it too. I don't know, but it was called Passions, bro. That man, that's another one. But yeah, man, Politicking Network, man, I love it.
Yeah.
I love that it's turning out into that like a network, and that
Hell
we're
yeah.
all and that all of us are connected like that.
Yep, yep.
That's so great. And stay tuned, joining the Politicking Network. I was just telling Stefa's gonna go try out for Amazing Race Canada.
On the road.
Oh man, I suggested it to him in our chat, and he was like, "I hate that show." LOL. I was like, "Oh."
Just go do it. Get the money.
Yeah, we need to see you on Amazing Race, man. Come on, Seth. Everybody who wants to see Sefa on Amazing Race, please go email him, tag him, comment on anything.
Hashtag Amazing Race Sefa.
Hashtag Amazing Race Sefa. Please go do that.
What's it? Amazing Seth? What should we need to make it? Amazing Sefa. Amazing
That's
Race.
it.
We'll figure.
I'm about to start. That's the campaign, man.
Sefa's Amazing Race. Sefa's Amazing Race. Hashtag Sefa's Amazing Race.
That's it.
There you go.
We're gonna start the campaign.
No apostrophe. Okay, because that's gonna mess up the hashtag. Hashtag Sefa's Amazing Race. And then we'll get it to the producers of Amazing Race Canada, and they'll call him, and he'll be like, "No, I don't want to do it." And they'll be like, "Oh,
right?" It's like, what the hell?
Yeah. Before we go, we also got the Pacifica movie starter kit. This week we are releasing the movie review episode for Next Goal Wins, the documentary from 2014. The theatrical poster for it says possibly the best football film ever created. 4 5-star reviews. Yeah, definitely was fun watching that documentary and then talking about it with Marcus. But check out, episode 3 of the Pacifica movie starter kit drops Tuesday morning. You can check that out on Spotify, Apple, or YouTube, where all of those videos are going for the Politicking Network.
Yeah, go review that. Go watch that, and then go watch the action movie. And just to guys let you know, it's not going to be like verbatim. The movie itself, I think, is more tailored to maybe a comedic. It's a feel-good movie.
I can't wait for the movie. We should go watch the movie together. When do you want to go? Like Thursday, dope. Friday morning, or something?
That'd be dope. I'm down.
Nice. And then we can do like the next episode. We can just do a bunch of how the movie went. Sorry. Yeah. But yeah, that is our Sunday NFL recap and our shout-outs. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We will be back with our midweek episode dropping Wednesday night, so check it out for that. Also, we're on Spotify, Apple, on YouTube. You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Facebook. We'd love for you guys to follow us and for you to download the next episode. We'll see you guys. We'll see you guys then. For Forrest Time, Lance. Thank you, everybody. Catch you guys later. Stay ballin'. How's it go? Stay hydrated. Stay blessed. Stay ballin'. Love and light. Peace.
Raiders.